Right now on the Newsmaker line, I've got Lauriston Crockett, who is a pet health expert, and I want to talk to him right now because, well, first of all, I have a puppy, and so I'm kind of concerned when I read this article. Lauriston, first of all, good afternoon to you, sir. Welcome to the program.
Hey, Pat, how are you?
I'm very, very good. We had a lot of canine flu that went around the U.S. last year, but from the articles that I'm seeing here, Lauriston, we stand a strong chance of having even more possible cases now in 2019.
Well, we are, and you need to understand where this actually came from. Back in 2004, we had the crossover between horses that actually went to dogs, and it was affecting the greyhounds at racing tracks in Florida. So this is basically when it happened. So now we're dealing with H3N8 and H3N2. So we have two different types of influenza for dogs.
So both of these strains, I guess, now are possibilities now. And from everything I'm reading, I'm not an expert. I love my dog to death, but that's about as much expert as I have on this. But my understanding is almost all dogs are susceptible to it. So, I mean, if that's the case, everybody should be making sure that we're up on our vaccines here, right?
Every dog is susceptible. If they're going to come in contact, and it can be contact from a kennel, different dog shows, dog parks, if they're going to be next to another dog that has it, they're basically going to come down with it. Or, they don't all show signs of it. About 20 to 25% don't, but the rest of them are actually going to come down with this flu. And we do have a vaccine now. It's a bivalent canine flu, and it'll treat both strains of the flu. The thing is that you'll have to get two shots. You'll go in one, and about 2 or 3 weeks later, you'll go back and get another to make sure that your pets are vaccinated against the flu.
Okay, and this CIV, which is CIV basically an acronym for the canine influenza, but basically it's talking about both the H3N2 and the H3N8?
Yes, there is, and you need to be tested to find out exactly which one we're dealing with.
Okay. Now, I have a dachshund who, by the way, thinks he owns my house.
Of course he does.
I got to tell you,
dachshunds.
Years ago, I had a dark golden retriever. Loved that dog. He was the perfect dog, and around age 13. We had to put him down, and I've got to tell you, Lauriston, it was like losing a child. I mean, it was awful. I didn't go to my office for 3 days. Okay,
I totally understand.
And about 5 years later, on Christmas morning, my youngest daughter gave me this puppy, and the amazing thing to me, and again, mine had been a dark golden, so he was that burnished red color. The first thing that struck me when she laid this puppy in my lap that I didn't know I was getting, he was the exact same color as my dark golden. So we named him BJ, which stands for Bailey Jr., so there you go.
Right.
But my vet, who's also the chief elder at my church, so I have to be careful, but we took him in for his first physical, and he goes, this dog's in great shape and all that. And I looked at him, and I said, so will training BJ be pretty much the same as when we trained Bailey? And he just laughed at me because he said, dachshunds have a mind of their own, and man, do they ever.
They do. They're wonderful, wonderful pets. They're very loyal, which you know also. But you have to definitely be alpha wolf in the household with these guys.
Oh yeah. Now my wife has a cat that lays in her lap, and BJ always sits next to me in the chair and a half. And he loves her. I mean, he's good with her and everything. But he knows he's my dog, and I've come to find out they're very much that way.
Well, they are. They're pack animals, and he looks to you as the alpha wolf in the home, so he's going to stay close to you.
Well, if I could just get my wife to look at me as the alpha wolf in the home. So what would I look for? What would be some of the symptoms that might show up on BJ or on some of the other pets for people that are listening right now? What would we look for here?
Well, first understand that this dog flu is airborne, okay? So, again, coughing, and they can get it from, the other dogs coughing or barking or sneezing, like I said, sniffing, going to different things. So the things you really want to look upon is it almost mimics a kennel cough. So coughing, sneezing, nasal discharge, runny eyes, fever, being lethargic, difficult in breathing. So if you're starting to see these signs, go ahead and take a trip to the vet. Let's find out what's taking place.
Yeah, and if we know that we haven't had any kind of a vaccine, let's go ahead and get started on that. Because my understanding on this, Lauriston, and again, we're talking with Lauriston Crockett. He's a pet health and longevity expert, so I wanted to get with him right away on this. If this goes unchecked, I mean, if they have this, left alone, it could, get all the way to pneumonia?
It could go to pneumonia, absolutely. And you know what? We're not seeing a major outbreak. I just had a phone conference with the famous pet vet, Dr. Danny Cox, about 30 minutes ago. And right now we're not seeing a major outbreak, but we don't want to see the outbreak. So if you care about your pets and they're going to be in situations such as kennels around other pets, other dogs, or at dog shows, let's go ahead and get them vaccinated. Let's take care of this.
Yeah, let's get it handled. Hey, well, listen, thanks so much for I saw the article, and I told Caleb, my producer, we've got to talk to him because I freak out. You know, these are our kids, these pets, and you just plus, you know, they can't take care of themselves, so they rely on us, so we need to make sure that we do take care of them. Lauriston, thanks so much. The next time I have a question on stuff about BJ or anybody else around here in the pet world, we're sure going to give you a call, okay?
Hey, we're always here for you. Thanks, Pat. Have a blessed day.
Thanks, you too. Lauriston Crockett, pet health longevity expert. You can find his stuff at www.thegiftforlife.com. That's no dots or dashes in there. Thegiftforlife.com. That's where you find out more about Lauriston and all the stuff that's going on.